Okay, getting a little further into the 120 volt system, everything within the 120 volt system, as well as the 12 volt system, everything requires protection through circuit breakers. So we use onboard GFI breakers for every component that's connected to either the shoreline, inverter, or generator. And all of those are right here within the main power distribution panel. So you have five different breaker boxes here. They're 2-gang breaker boxes, and each one of those breaker boxes are labeled for what the function of the breakers are. So down here, these boxes here are what we house the automatic transfer switches. So when I address automatic transfer switches, what I mean is that we don't want you as the user to have to decide what source of power is going to be used in any situation. So if you're running the generator, or you have the shorelines plugged in, or you have the inverter turned on, we have this wired so that we have what is referred to in the electrical terms as a master and slave type of setup. So if the generator is running, it is going to take over the power source or power demands of the inverters. So these breakers up here, again, because we split the load amongst the generator and the inverters and so on, we've split the load so that it's balanced. And so if you, for instance, this particular breaker box here controls the ceiling outlets, the EMT action area outlet, the workstation outlet strip, and the aft action area strip, which is on the street side interior of the vehicle. So that's addressing all the interior outlets of the vehicle. And it's connected to shoreline B as it's labeled here. And same thing, if you look above, it's labeled shoreline B, this breaker here, and the only breaker in here is for one of the rooftop air conditioners. That breaker is for the rooftop air conditioner. And we go further into shoreline A. It operates, this upper breaker panel operates or turns on and off the other rooftop air conditioner, which we refer to as a penguin air conditioner. And then this breaker panel here is also called shoreline A. And then you have your right side outlets and your left side outlets. So those breakers, really, you're really never going to have to mess with those breakers unless one trips for whatever reason. Then that'd be the first thing you'd check to see, well, why isn't my air conditioner, for instance, working? You're going to want to look here to see if maybe the breaker is tripped for whatever reason. And then over here we have another breaker box, again labeled shoreline A. And then the breaker itself is labeled ITC 3200. What that is that's the power input to one of the inverters, which is a 3200 watt inverter, which is referred to as a Vanner ITC 3200 watt inverter. So anyway, again, this box houses transfer switches. These two are just junction ports or junction boxes to be able to branch out. And then there's another box above this last shoreline breaker box, which is again more transfer switches, so that again you do not have to decide what to do or what power source you need. So with that being said, this can be a little bit confusing. Again, we're happy to answer any questions that may come out in the beginning stages of you getting used to it.